afternoon, everyone. A very good afternoon, everyone. This is Namrata, your Bagdara Farms consultant, and I'm here again with all of you to talk to you about another problem. And today we are going to talk to you all about problems of sinus. Now, sinus infections are quite common with a lot of people. Sometimes people don't know what the symptoms are, and maybe they have sinus. So today I'm going to tell you in detail all about problems of sinus, also known as rhinosinusitis. So what is sinus, what are sinus infections, and how these problems can lead to other problems in the system, and how it affects the overall health of an individual? That is what we are going to discuss today, right? So there are spaces, there are four spaces in the head. Okay, these spaces are connected to each other by narrow channels. I'm talking about this area today. This is the area where all the sinus cavities are. So what are there? When an infection takes place near the nasal passage, any kind of infection that takes place near your nasal passage, as in the channels near your, the nasal cavities, what happens if there is any kind of inflammation, any kind of infection, because of which there is fluid buildup that takes place? This leads to, hi Musharraf Patel, thank you for joining. So what happens? This leads to inflammation or swelling up of that area. So when an infection is caused, these nasal passage gets infected, these nasal passage gets swollen, and as a result of this, what happens? This leads to sinus infections, also known as rhinosinusitis, right? Now, when this inflammation takes place, that means the area inside is getting blocked, it is getting inflamed, it has fluid inside. The sinus cavities are usually filled with air. खाली होती है because they are hollow cavities. Hollow means खाली cavities है, right? These cavities are somewhere here, they are here, they are here. So these are the sinus cavities which are there in everybody's body, right? These sinus cavities are usually hollow, but due to any kind of infection, allergies, or any kind of damage, they can get built, they can have fluid built up in them. And when this fluid gets built up in them, what happens? It can cause sinus infections. Now, the largest cavities in the sinus cavities which are there, the largest cavity is around 1 inch, and there can be variations in the cavities which are there. So there are different kind of cavities which I'm going to tell you about. Now, like I said, these sinuses are connected to each other through channels. So these are hollow cavities in your head, in your head, in your face area. These are sinus cavities are there. These are hollow cavities which are there. Now, who can get sinus, or who can get sinus infections? Now, you need to understand that sinus infections, or like I said, rhinosinusitis, can be, anybody can have it, but some people are more at risk of it. These are people who have allergic problems, who have polyps problems, who have asthma, who have nasal, like I said, polyps, who have allergy reactions, who have seasonal allergies, who have a lot of seasonal allergies. That can also be an abnormal nose structures. If the structure of your nose is not proper, right, the cartilage inside is not fine, or there is a bone which is there, which is working in the wrong way with the alignment of the nose, that can be also one of the signs that those people are more of getting problems of sinusitis. Because when, like I always say, if inflammation or if the flow of oxygen and blood supply is not proper in your system, it can lead to various kind of infections and problems. Now, like I said, all these are people who can get. Usually people who do not have any kind of these histories of allergies and all, sometimes you can get pains in your sinus cavities. That can be because of fluid buildup, and this fluid buildup can be anything. It can be built up because of seasonal change. It can be built up because of anything you eat or drink, or also smoking also causes these sinus flare-ups to happen more often. Because what happens, phlegm or mucus gets accumulated in the sinus cavities. The cavities which are usually hollow, the cavities which are usually with air, gets filled with fluid which is in the form of phlegm or mucus. This causes sinus infections in the system. Now, what causes sinusitis? Sinusitis can be caused due to a lot of reasons. Mainly, sinusitis is caused due to viruses, bacteria, allergies, polyps, any kind of fungus that blocks. Hi, Dinks04, thank you for joining. Any kind of polyps, any kind of fungus that can block your sinus. So, if your sinus areas, if your sinus cavities get blocked, you have various side effects on your system. Other reasons of causes of sinusitis, क्या और causes हो सकते हैं? If you have common cold, somebody जिसको frequently common cold हो रहा है, somebody जिसको बार बार सर्दी हो रही है, उसको common cold हो गया, cough हो गया, then you have nasal and seasonal allergies, you have a weak immune system, you have polyps, growth of polyps है, or a deviated septum. Now, what is a deviated septum? It is a cartilage that divides your nose, right? So, if your septum is deviated, matlab in structure of your septum is not fine, then what will happen? Because of its alignment not being fine, that means it is not being able to pass, the flow of oxygen and blood supply is not proper. Yet again, what I always talk, that is the reason it can also cause causes of sinus in your system. Now, what are the signs and symptoms of sinusitis? किसको कैसे पता लगेगा कि उनको symptoms हैं इसके कि नहीं है? It is very simple. So, like I said, these are hollow cavities located in this area. So, first sign would be pain in any of these sinus cavities, right? Discomfort, pressure. आपको ऐसे feel होगा pressure as if somebody is, hitting or banging on your head, because the pain can be so. It can actually get very crazy, because people who have sinus problems only understand that how heavy your head, how heavy your whole body starts to feel once you have sinus infections or sinus attacks, right? Post nasal drip. Now, post nasal drip, because of common cold, because of any kind of allergic reactions, what happens? Whatever nasal drip is there, it keeps getting nasal drip in your throat. बार बार वो आपके throat में जाता है, as a result of which you have throat irritation, you can have throat infection, you have constant cough and constant feeling of clearing your throat. For example, if somebody keeps doing this, this is always of clearing out mucus, which is post nasal drip, which is a major symptom or sign of sinusitis. Then also nasal discharge. That means you get lot of nasal discharge, lot of mucus keeps coming out of your nose, right? Which can be yellow and green in color. If the color keeps changing quite frequently, that's the sign that your sinus infection is increased. The sinus infection is you need proper treatment for it, because if the color of the mucus, color of the phlegm also starts changing, that is a sign that the infection is going on increasing. Also facial pressure, like I said, pressure, sometimes people have pressure here, ये जो आपका area है, hi Yash Asha, okay, Yashasha. Okay, fine. Sorry for pronouncing your name, sorry, but I could just read it like that. Thank you for joining. So what happens is facial pressure. आपका जो ये वाला area है, you will have pain here, you will have pain here, you will have pain here, you will have pain here. तो ये आपके जो areas हैं, these are points. यहाँ पे pain होगा, यहाँ पे pain होगा, ये areas हैं. So these are all your nasal passages. These are all your nasal cavities. These are all hollow cavities. जब आपको साइनस इन्फेक्शन हो रही है, दैट मीन्स इन ऑल ऑफ दीज नेजल कैविटीज आपका फ्लेम म्यूकस फंसा हुआ है, इट इज ब्लॉकिंग दैट एरिया, इट इज नॉट एबल टू ड्रेन आउट all the phlegm from your system, and that infection starts because there is so much inflammation, there is so much swelling. So much swelling causes tenderness, ठीक है, इतनी tenderness हो जाती है that it causes pain in your system, and that is why people who have sinus complain that this area is paining and it is hurting them a lot. Hi Charm.Park, thank you for joining. Also, like I said, जब आपका sinusitis का infection बहुत बढ़ जाता है, you can have fever also. It leads to tiredness. It can lead you to having feelings of being fatigued. Postnasal drip and this pain is the main area. You can have pain in your eye socket. आपकी eyes के अंदर आपको you will have terrible headaches. People who have sinusitis know how this is. You have terrible headaches because of sinus in your system, right? If I'm also, people start having bad breath because of postnasal drip and because of constantly having mucus and issues of phlegm. What happens? You can have bad breath. आपकी जो hi Simu 14, thank you for joining. Hi Cord, thank you for joining. So what happens in this case? You can have headaches and constant throat infections. जब आपका post nasal drip होता रहेगा, that post nasal drip will lead to problems of throat irritation as well. You will feel as if you need to clear your throat again and again. आपको बार बार गला साफ करना पड़ रहा है, because that phlegm is going to be there in your system. That phlegm is going to be there in your entire system, right? And there are different sinuses. Now sinus बहुत सारे types के होते हैं. Like I said, there are 4 spaces in your head, right? There are 4 spaces in your facial area. So what are sinuses? There are different types. There are different names. So the paranasal sinuses are sinuses that are located near in your head, near your eyes. Hi, Smriti Gitai Gupta, thank you for joining. कौन सी होती है पैरानेजल जो साइनसेस है? दे आर लोकेटेड इन योर हेड नियर योर आईज. आपकी आईज के आसपास होती हैं जो कैविटीज एंड अराउंड योर नोज. सो दीज आर ऑल एरियाज. एंड इनके नाम कैसे दिए गए? द नेम्स हैव बीन गिवन अकॉर्डिंग टू द बोन्स दैट प्रोवाइड देम स्ट्रक्चर. फॉर एग्जांपल, देयर इज एथमोडाइल साइनसेस. एथमोडाइल साइनसेस कौन से होते हैं? विच आर लोकेटेड बिटवीन योर आईज. जो आईज के बीच वाली साइनस है उसको एथमोडाइल साइनस बोलते हैं. Then maxillary sinuses, जो maxillary cavity है वो सबसे main cavity है which is there, the sinus cavity. Okay, they are located below your eyes. So below your eyes, this is the maxillary sinus. अगर आपका ये वाला area inflamed है, आपका ये वाला area में pain है, that means your this sinus is blocked. Then is sphenoidal sinusitis. What is this? These are located behind your eyes. तो eyes के पीछे होता है. तो मतलब ये सारी चीजें आपके इस area में ही located हैं. इसमें से कुछ भी any of the four spaces gets blocked, you can have a sinus infection. It can cause pain and discomfort in your body. Also the frontal sinuses. Frontal sinuses are located above your eyes. That means this area. So कभी कभी आपने देखा होगा आपको साइनस की पेन हो रही है ना, if you press it here, you'll get to know कि आपको आपका this area is blocked. On a normal day, a person who doesn't have problems of sinus will not have any kind of pain. But if a person has any kind of inflammation, any kind of phlegm deposited in any of your nasal cavities, any of your nasal passages, that means you have a sinus infection, you have problems of sinus. Now you need to understand sinusitis के जो attacks होते हैं, they are of different kinds. Sinusitis जिनको होता है वो different kinds में होता है. How does it happen? Now you can have acute bacterial sinusitis. What is acute bacterial sinusitis? It can be a cold or congestion that started right because of any kind of bacterial infection, and this starts going up to hi Gattu Patel, thank you for joining. Up to 10 days or more आपको symptoms लगते रहते हैं. This is known as acute bacterial sinusitis. Then there can be chronic sinusitis. Chronic sinusitis होता है which lasts for more than 12 weeks and as a result of which उस sinus की वजह से किसी किसी को loss of smell भी हो जाता है. You must have read a lot of articles आजकल जब से ये COVID हो रहा है that people are getting confused. You know, they are getting confused between sinus symptoms and problems of COVID, where you have loss of smell. So even with sinus, people have loss of smell. It this acute जब आपको जब chronic problem हो जाती है, chronic sinusitis होता है. What happens in that? It lasts for more than 12 weeks, and in that case, sometimes people lose their sense of smell because all of your nasal passages are blocked. So when your nasal passages are blocked, obviously your ability to breathe, your ability to perform various respiratory functions which your nasal passages can do are not able to be done, right? So you lose your sense of smell. आप सूंघ नहीं पाते. So that is chronic sinusitis which few people have. Then is subacute sinusitis. Now what is subacute sinusitis? Which is also, it is between, you can say, acute and chronic. It is between 4 to 12 weeks. So this is also kind of sinusitis which is there. And also the last one is recurrent acute sinusitis. What is recurrent acute sinusitis? जिसको sinusitis, hi Dr. Pankaj Moga, thank you for joining. जिसको बार बार sinus हो रहा है. So some people have recurrent episodes of this is recurrent acute sinusitis. Recurrent acute sinusitis होता है जिसको बार बार sinus हो रहा होता है. Maybe every month you are having it, every few weeks you are having it, monthly you are having it, or mainly that may be getting aggravated during weather change, during monsoons. So you must have seen people who usually are in areas which have lot of allergens, lot of pollens, and during this change of weather, like abhi monsoons are going away, this transition phase when monsoons go and autumn, the after the monsoon season, the autumn comes. That is a problem of transition. Sometimes from when the summer to spring comes, then is also problem space where people have these things because usually sinus infections develop due to various kind of, like I said, virus, bacteria which are there, or any kind of molds or any kind of infection which is there, which is affecting your nasal cavity. Now, why am I here today? I'm here to tell you that sinus can be controlled, sinus can be taken care of with natural therapy, with complementary or alternative medicine. At Bagdara Farms, we have a product by the name Astumin. Astumin is an organic supplement made out of turmeric. Now, turmeric has a component known as curcumin. This curcumin has many medicinal and pharmacological properties. अगर curcumin high percentage में होगा, only then it is effective in taking care of any kind of problem. अगर ये high percentage में होएगा ही नहीं, ये आपकी body पे affect ही नहीं करेगा. Like you can see on the screen, this is our product Astumin. And Astumin क्या करता है? It has various medicinal and pharmacological properties, like I said. Number one is it has anti-inflammatory properties. Anti-inflammatory properties means it helps in reducing any kind of inflammation caused in the system. तो अगर आपकी बॉडी में किसी भी टाइप का इन्फ्लेमेशन है, किसी भी टाइप की स्वेलिंग है, स्वेलिंग की वजह से आपकी बॉडी पे प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. So what happens because of any kind of 1 second, there is some issue. 1 second, everybody. Yes. So because of any kind of inflammation in the system, आपके nasal passage में अगर कुछ भी type of inflammation होगा, That inflammation is because of an allergy, because of an infection, because of a viral. So because of that, swelling happens. So when there will be swelling in your system, आपका nasal passage will not work properly. So we have various specialities. Our products are used for respiratory ailments. Astumin, it is non-GMO, that is, it is not genetically modified. Anti-inflammatory is the best property of astumin, which will help with problems of sinus. Second, antioxidant properties. That means any kind of free radicals, any oxidative damage that is being caused in the sinus cavity, that is being caused in the nasal passage, that oxidative damage can be taken care of with astumin. Then we also have anti-asthmatic properties. So like I said, people who have asthmatic problems or are reactive, have bronchial asthma, these people are more at risk of also, having sinus attacks. So the anti-asthmatic property of astumin helps you with that. It is a natural decongestant. Natural decongestant means it elevates साइनस प्रेशर, जो साइनस की वजह से प्रेशर आपकी बॉडी पे, हाय मानसी बांसल, थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग. सो क्या होता है, जो साइनस आपके की वजह से जो फ्लेम होता है, फ्लेम और म्यूकस फॉर्मेशन की वजह से प्रेशर बनता है इन योर साइनस कैविटीज. यू फील प्रेशर इन योर फेशियल एरियाज, right? So what happens, it has a natural decongestant property, and this natural decongestant property takes care of that. Also, it is a natural analgesic, means if you have any kind of pain, if you have any kind of discomfort, this acts as a natural painkiller. Astumin acts as a natural painkiller. In a natural way, it helps in giving you relief from any kind of pain. It is also antiviral and antibacterial. That means astumin has antiviral and antibacterial properties. That if the viral infection, or if the sinus is caused, hi Muhammad Suleiman, thank you for joining. If virus जो आपकी infection है, that is caused due to any kind of virus, bacteria, then the antiviral and antibacterial property of astumin works in taking care of that. Hi Muhammad Suleiman, hi R. Behel, thank you for joining. Hi Mahendra K. Yadav, thank you so much for joining. We are talking about problems of sinus, how sinus happens and how this can be taken care of with a natural therapy. It has antifungal properties. So if it's any kind of fungal infection, जैसे mold and उसमें लोगों को होता है जिसकी वजह से breathing problems होती हैं, and if that is the cause for you having sinus infections, then the antifungal property also helps. Most importantly, sinus usually, hi R. Behel, sinus usually targets those people whose immunity is low. That means if you're getting constant cold, आपको cold cough बहुत बार बार हो रहा है, that can be one of the reasons that you have this problem. Hi Binoy Joy, thank you for joining. If you have constant problems of cold and cough, that means your immune. Hi Akash, thank you for joining. Your immunity is down. जिनकी immunity down होती है, they are more at risk of getting sinus infections. Your sinus cavities can get inflamed, infected, and there can be a lot of fluid built up, which can be, that is the various phlegm, mucus that gets accumulated in your system. You can have an irritated throat. So astumin at Bagdara Farms can help you take care of that. We have detailed information about astumin also on our website, which is www.bagdarafarms.com. And we team of consultants are also available on call on 9560254646. I repeat, 9560254646. We are available on this number on call, message, and WhatsApp to address all your queries. Now you need to understand the procedure to take astumin has to be followed properly. You have to boil this thing. A turmeric tea has to be prepared and taken twice in the day. Also, you have to do steam inhalation with this powder. Now, how is the procedure? I'm going to explain it to you. You take 2 cups of water. To that, add half teaspoon of astumin, a pinch of black pepper powder. Boil it till the time the quantity gets reduced to half. That means from 2 cups, reduce it to 1 cup. When you have 1 cup left with you, you pour it into your cup without straining it. इसको छानना नहीं है, बिना छाने. Hi Vikram Sharma, thank you for joining. बिना छाने इसको अपने कप में डालिए. Now you can have it as it is. या तो आप इसको ऐसे ही पी सकते हैं, या आप इसमें थोड़ा सा हनी डाल सकते हैं. Honey, lemon juice, these are optional. You can add these things to enhance the taste and flavor of the drink. Hi Official Patel, thank you for joining. And this is your turmeric tea. Your turmeric tea is prepared for problems of sinus. Now how do you drink it? You drink it like you take your tea or coffee. Take each sip, keep it in your mouth for 15 to 20 seconds. हर sip को मुंह में रखिए 15 से 20 seconds, then gulp it down. Why? If you keep each sip in your mouth for 15 to 20 seconds, when it gets mixed with your saliva, its absorption and digestion in the body is better, right? This is how you have to consume astumin. If you are having sinus for a very long time, minimum course we recommend is for 2 months. If you use a product for minimum 2 months, that is how you will know how curcumin or how turmeric works on the body, right? Because natural supplements take that much of time to show results on the body. So minimum course we recommend is of 2 months. Our one bottle has 60 grams of powder in it, and one bottle is a course for 20 days. Fine. So this is how you drink it. Also, if you do steam inhalation with our product twice a day, that is first thing in the morning, try to do steam with our, boil your water, put a very small pinch of asthma in it, and let it boil nicely, and then take steam inhalation with that. Similarly, do it once before you sleep at night. If you follow this routine of oral consumption and steam inhalation with asthma, you will get great release from sinus and sinus infections, right? Any kind of causes which are there of sinus, the symptoms and side effects which sinus has on your system, like throbbing pains, headaches, pressure, all of these things will help, because once the inflammation gets reduced, once the oxidative damage gets reduced, there's an anti-mutagenic property. So that property, what happens, anti-mutagenic property helps in washing out the phlegm from the system. जो phlegm है, mucus है, वो उसको thinning करेगा. curcumin जो है एस्थुमिन में, इट विल हेल्प इन थिनिंग इट आउट, मतलब वो उसको पतला करके आपके सिस्टम से बाहर निकालेगा. And once your cavities, once your knees, which are like cavities here, here, these are the cavity areas, these are the cavity areas. So once your nasal passages, once your sinus infections which are there in the nasal passages, जब वो अपने आप drain होने लग जाएगा, when the mucus or the phlegm starts getting drained out, what will happen? The pressure will be relieved from the nerves. The pressure will be relieved in these nasal cavities, and you will find relief from problems of sinus. So on our website, if you visit our website, we have detailed information. Under the our product section, we have all our products, and this is we have a product Astumin. If you go down on the Astumin page, we have written about what is Astumin, how is it beneficial, and what are its properties. We are also written the course. We have a minimum course of 2 months. We have a moderate course. We have an extended course, and like this. So these are different courses which we have for all of you. You can take Astumin for as long as you want. These products have no side effects on the system. They are completely organic, 100% natural. On the same page, when you scroll down, we have written also the dosage. If you have children who you want to give this to, there is dosage written for everybody. In detail, all these things are given. It is also written that the product has 60 grams of powder in it, and this is, the main component in our products is curcuma longa, also known as curcumin. Now, we have a scientific evidence section on our website. Now, the scientific evidence section has articles based on research, surveys, and studies conducted all across the world on curcumin and how curcumin, a component in turmeric, helps with taking care of various ailments. You will be happy to know and amazed to know that curcumin can treat more than 856 ailments in the human body, right? It has 287 plus pharmacological abilities. So curcumin is beneficial only when the curcumin is found in high percentage, and in our products the curcumin percentage is between 11 to 19%, and this is because of the soil quality at our farms which are located near Bandhavgarh National Forest in Madhya Pradesh, and also because of the traditional techniques of cultivation we follow. Our team had done research for more than 5 years, and in that research period, we developed our own seed, and that is why we are so sure of its curcumin percentage, so sure of its authenticity. Also, if you go on our website and you really want to know about our certifications, you can go scroll down on the website right at the down. We have a column where it is written clearly certifications, right? Certificates. So what do? You go to the certification section. We have certificates where the products are certified by FSSAI and USA FDA. So certifications, you go on certifications, you open the certificates. We have put out now certificates for everybody to see, so that there is transparency when you buy our products, so that you understand the authenticity and the genuineness of our products. It is approved by USA FDA and FSSAI. Our products are also having a high curcumin percentage, and those certificates are also available on the website. Many people are in the market selling curcumin supplements, trying to tell people that they have higher curcumin values. Suddenly, no product can give you a higher curcumin value. If some product is giving a higher curcumin value, then you may have to check whether they are genetically modified or not. Our products are not genetically modified, they are 100% organic. Natural means of cultivation, organic, traditional methods of cultivation are used for cultivating turmeric at our farms. We do not outsource anything. Everything is done in-house, right from sowing to taking care of the crop to having it powdered to packaging it. Everything is done in-house. Hi Parul Bhatia, thank you for joining. Everything is done in-house, and that is why we vouch for the quality and the quantity and the authenticity of our products. So if you want to know more about sinus, if you are facing sinus infections or you know somebody who's having sinus infections, you can tell them that turmeric available at Bagdara Farms by the name of Astumin can help them with taking care of this problem naturally without causing any side effects. So you can read about it from our website. You can call us on 9560254646 and our team of consultants will be more than happy to help you out. Right? Thank you so much everyone for joining in live here with me. We'll see you all again tomorrow with another topic, another session. Thank you for being here with us. Have a wonderful day ahead.